Hey everybody! Today we decided to cook a giant Skittle. Let's open the packet and see what it's made of. Inside there are a bunch of small candies. If we crush them, it becomes clear that there is a candy coating around a soft, chewy inside. Now let's buy everything we need to cook a giant Skittles. First up, you'll need a lot of sugar, a box of oil. We go to the produce section, and we take out quite a lot of lemons. We choose the largest and ripest watermelons and put them in the cart. We'll need a total of 7 watermelons. We pull up to the checkout with 2 carts full. We unload them. Our check came out to $162. In addition to this, we bought another 30 kilograms of glucose syrup. To make it easier to work with, we'll pour it into a large saucepan. I ordered something special for this video. These are semicircles made out of acrylic. They will serve as our huge Skittles mold. We fill the mold with oil and smear it around with a brush. Let's unroll the parchment paper. We make pretty deep cuts along the edges and carefully put it inside the mold. Thanks to the oil, the parchment sticks well to the mold. That way we cover up all the inside of the semicircle. Done! It turned out great. Now we put the saucepan on the scales. We put 150 grams of glucose syrup into it. And pour 350 grams of sugar into that. Now we pour in 100 milliliters of water. We put all this on the stove and cook the syrup. Be sure to use a thermometer. We need to wait until the temperature reaches 147 degrees Celsius. Done. Now let's squeeze a little purple food dye into a teaspoon and mix it into our candy coating. The acrylic molds don't really like changes in temperature, so to heat them up, we'll turn on really hot water and fill a bath. We lower the mold into the water, and only now do we pour in the candy coating. Yes, we'll be filling the mold for a long time, so we decided to make a double portion. So we'll be doing 2 equal saucepans at once. Put it on the stove. We cook up the mixture and add in the food coloring. Let's send the second mold into the bath. Pour the coating along the walls. Well, we cooked and molded the coating for 7 hours. At some point, it began to set crookedly. I had to gradually cover everything up. We returned the molds to the studio. We've already made the outer layer for the candy. Now all we need to do is make the insides. There are many different Skittles flavors. We decided to come up with our own, watermelon. To help out with this, we have a hefty mechanical press. We transfer the watermelons to the sink and wash them thoroughly. We put the clean watermelons in a huge bowl. We install a trough under the press and put a metal barrel on top. We take a watermelon, cut off the end, and then do the same to the other side. We prop it up vertically and remove the entirety of the green peel. Now all we have is the pulp. We throw it into the barrel. Cover the top of the metal disc. Take another watermelon and clean it the same way. We send this to the barrel too, and cover it as well. In advance, we substitute a 20-liter empty cylinder at the bottom and put a funnel into it. We begin to turn the screw. We make sure that it enters the groove of the metal disc. The juice is squeezed out very evenly. It goes into the trough and drains down into the container. We twist the press with all our might. 2 watermelons didn't give us enough juice, so we decided to peel 3 watermelons at once and cut each of them into pieces. We load them into the barrel and covering them with metal discs. Squeeze out the juice. We clean another watermelon. Squeeze the juice out of it too. Now we have almost a full container. But I want my Skittles to be sour. Let's squeeze the juice out of the lemons as well. First, we roll them with our hands on the table to loosen up the insides. Then we cut and squeeze the juice using our hands. All the juice will be sent through a sieve into the container. By the time we get to the studio, the juice has separated, and the red part was at the bottom. We decided to try it, and the taste hasn't really changed at all. I mean, real watermelon juice can be transparent. We shake the container well, and the color comes back. For the inside of the candy, we need 4 pots. We pour 150 milliliters of watermelon juice into each of them. Then 200 grams of glucose syrup, and 300 grams of sugar into each. We put all this onto the stove. Be sure to put a thermometer in one of the pots. The candy is boiling and you can't touch it at all. Just wait until it reaches 123 degrees. Open the butter. We cut it into small pieces. And one by one, send it into the pots, along with a teaspoon of white dye. Now we mix it up. The candy is ready. Just have to pour it into the molds. Oh, you have no idea how long we've been cooking all this. A day and a half. Finally, the molds are completely filled. Only a day later, the caramel completely cools down and becomes the desired soft consistency. Using a knife, we chip off the uneven edges of the candy. One half is covered with parchment. We put a board on top and turn it over. We remove the mold. Tear off the parchment. And turn over a candy half. The same should be done with the second one. Now, the most dangerous thing is to attach the 2 halves to each other. Then the worst thing imaginable happened. One half slipped and we heard a crunch, which really scared us. We were trying to connect the 2 halves. So we tear off the parchment and see the candy coating has split. We were really upset. Well, what can you do? We tried to at least save the filling. We transfer it into the mold. We'll have to redo the candy coating, but this time we'll do it differently. Again, we cover the mold with parchment. In the middle, we put a ring pasted with parchment. With the help of a hairdryer, we thoroughly warm up the mold. We cook the purple coating again, but something really scary happened here. At some point, the hot candy exploded with such a force that it knocked off the grate, splattered the ceiling, half of the studio, and got on my face. With serious burns and eye injuries, I was taken to the hospital by ambulance. If you want to see how my face looks now, then follow the link in the description to my Instagram. I should say right away, this isn't for the faint of heart. While I'm recovering, my dad will finish the Skittle. He pours the purple candy down the walls of the mold. He files the uneven edges. And turns it over to empty the mold. Then he tears off the parchment and takes out the ring in the middle. The edges of the lower half are now coated with the hot candy mixture. Now we connect the two halves very carefully and gently. Once again, we go around, connecting them at the crease. We take all the filling we managed to save. Using a knife, we cut off pieces from it. We fill our Skittle to the brim. And close it off from above. The joint is filled with the mixture. We just cut off the excess with a knife. Using a burner, we warm up our Skittle from the outside to melt small chips and sugary crumbs. On a piece of parchment, we draw the S logo. Now we melt white chocolate in a steam bath and fill it into a regular syringe. With its help, we first draw the outline of the letter, then fill in the inside. We wait for the chocolate to harden and transfer it to the candy. That's it! Our giant Skittle is finally ready. We spent a lot of money, time, and most of all, health on this experiment. If my dad hadn't helped me, we probably would have never finished this video. Our Skittle weighs in at 78 kilograms. Let's smash it. We'll try both parts at once, the candy coating and the filling. Hello everyone, in the last video we cooked a very huge sturgeon and we were left with a very hefty head. As I promised, today we will cook fish soup from it. However, it will just be an unusual soup. At the auction, I bought a very old recipe for the royal soup of the 18th century. The recipe is called Triple Royal Fish Soup with Saffron. The recipe explains that it is triple because it was prepared from 3 different types of fish. The first broth is boiled from the head and tail of the sturgeon. Therefore, we start with the head. The first step is to remove the gills. If this is not done, the broth will be bitter. Done. We transfer the head to the sink and thoroughly wash it from the mucus so that it is perfectly clean. We are also left with the sturgeon carcass. We use this for the fish soup. We chop it into identical pieces. And we remove the film from the edges. To cook the fish sumas, it should be done in a cauldron. We send the pieces of the island of sturgeon to the cauldron as well as the head itself, and fill it all up with water. And then we chop wood. We need a lot of these wood chips. We send some dry alcohol to the stove and set it on fire. Now we throw in some firewood. The fish soup should be cooked very slowly, avoiding rapid boiling. Then the broth will be as saturated as possible. Periodically remove the foam from the surface. Three onions in the husk are sent to cook. The recipe says that this will give the broth a golden color. In the meantime, we prepare everything for the second broth. We need small fish, namely ruffs or perches. We bought these perch. Now we gut them. This one was also caught with caviar. We also cut out the gills. And rinse the fish thoroughly. And send the already clean, prepared perch to gauze. We clean everything else in the same way. We put in a lot of greens on top, namely dill and parsley. And the third fish in our soup will be walleye. For me, this is the most delicious fish of all and can be caught in our reservoirs. Its most important plus is that there are a few bones in it. We rip open the belly. And remove the insides. We cut out the gills. Done. We cut off the pike perch's head. And throw that into the cheesecloth. We continue the incision along the belly. And cut off half of the fish, cutting through the ribs. We separate the second half of the meat. We fold the skeleton several times and send that in with the head. We cut off all the fins. And ribs from the fillet. After which, we cut off the fillet from the skin. With the second fillet, we do the same thing. So now we're left with 2 fillets without bones. This will be the meat component of our soup. Now we cut the fillet into convenient pieces. Done. And all the trimmings will also go into the broth. From the spices, we add a mixture of peppers, a lot of bay leaves, and salt. We collect everything into the cheesecloth and tie it up. The soup has been cooking for 2 hours. We take out the head of the sturgeon. And all the other parts of it too. We lower in our gauze bag. This will have to cook about a couple of hours to give all the taste to the broth. In the meantime, we'll prepare our vegetables, carrots and potatoes. Both of these root vegetables are peeled. Cut the carrots lengthwise and into half circles. We cut the potatoes into slices. Our second broth is already cooked. We take out the gauze bag. All the flavors inside the bag have gone into the broth. We also take out the bulbs of onions. Ideally, it is impossible to collect all the foam from the surface of the broth, so we take clean buckets and a sieve. We put also some gauze into that and filter the broth. Done. We put the clean cauldron back on and fill it with the clean broth. We throw in the sliced potatoes and carrots. We cover with the lid so that it boils again. In the meantime, let's go back to the boiled sturgeon head. Despite the fact that it all looks kind of so-so, there's still a lot of meat there. Therefore, we separate it from the bones and put it into the bowl. Turns out that we filled more than half of the bowl with clean meat. Pay attention to the name of the fish soup that we are preparing: Triple Royal Fish Soup with Saffron. Therefore, we take a mortar, pour some salt into it, and the most expensive spice in the world is saffron. We send that into the mortar and grind it in with the salt that it reveals its flavor to the maximum and gives some color. We pour this into the soup. And mix thoroughly. The fish soup is almost ready, so we send the pieces of pike perch into it, as well as sturgeon meat. The recipe explains that this is kind of a ritual, a way to appease the soup by sharing the most holy with the fish. All for the smell of smoke. We dip a burning log into the soup. At this point, it is completely ready, and you can fill the plate. We're left with a very beautiful fish soup with a lot of meat. Now let's try it.